When I did my first analysis and stock overview of Castor Maritime, ticker symbol CTRM, I said at the end of the video that this was a company that I was not going to be starting a position in simply for the fact that they didn't meet certain criteria, and I wasn't sure about the capability and practicality of their overall, the system that they had going. Well, there were a couple of different things that went into that. I was looking at it and I was like, I don't know about their business model. I'm not sure. I don't know if their management team, I don't know if the fact that their CEO is also the CFO. I didn't know if he would be able to handle all of this stuff. And I wasn't really sure. I said that I'm not going to be investing in this company right now, but I'm going to monitor it. I'm going to keep putting videos out about it. And I'm going to see what moves they do make. And then that could potentially alter my opinion. Well, I will say that as time has gone on, as I've, included them in my channel, as I've read your comments, as I've started to do my own research and further expand my knowledge around this company, I must say that my opinion is starting to change. In today's video, I will be going over one of the reasons in which I do believe that this company has a lot of potential, and I may be changing my mind about overall investment whenever it comes to it. You just have to stick around to the end of the video to find out. With that being said, if you do want to be a part of over 100 different traders and investors now in our Discord, we just reached 100 members in the Patreon in the Discord. They all talk to each other. They all give their trades. I give full-blown updates and portfolio updates. I let them know whenever I'm making trades. I notify everyone. It's really an amazing community. Certain tiers allow you access to all of the content behind these videos, hours, even the day before sometimes to these videos before I even put them out. It really is an amazing opportunity for anyone involved, in my opinion. So if you are interested in that, definitely head to the description below. Check out the link to my Patreon, and I really do appreciate each and every one of you who have joined. But with that being said, let's go ahead and let's take a quick look into Castor Maritime. I don't expect that this video is going to be too long, as it is just another update. I always said that I'll update you all whenever my opinion may change, or I may receive some type of information that might alter the state of mind I'm in whenever it comes to Castor Maritime, and that's exactly what happened. So whenever we did get the news that Castor Maritime was doing a direct offering that was priced at $26 million, I did make a video about it, and I said that I wasn't a big fan of all of the dilution that was going down. I said that they have consistently been doing all of these offerings and offering more shares, and I wasn't a big fan of how they were using that as their main focus on raising capital. Well, in that video, I have done some research and I have put some thought into it, and I've did more research about penny stocks and direct offerings, and I must say that direct offerings aren't as bad in penny stocks as they are in some of the bigger ones. I've noticed that a lot more penny stocks do these, and that as long as they are using the capital to the right means and they are putting the right actions behind this capital, that it may actually be beneficial long term for the company. Now, this is all again contingent upon the action that is placed behind this raising of capital. If they're just burning through all this capital, maybe trying to overpay their employees or overpay the CEO or something like that, then that is an issue. But if it is being used more as an investment, then that can be okay. So as we did see here again, sometime within the about 13 days ago, coming up on 2 weeks, we can see here that Castor Maritime announced that it had entered into a securities purchase agreement with certain unaffiliated institutional investors to issue approximately 137 million of its common shares warrants, up to an aggregate of 137 common shares at a price of 19 cents per share. And this was, of course, going to be priced at $26 million. Now, they did say that they were going to be, using this for different operations and that, but, they didn't really necessarily explain what they were going to be putting it for. So this is where a lot of my doubt did come in, because I was like, okay, y'all are offering 130 million. That's not a small amount. 137 million of its common shares. So I'm like, what exactly is going on, and what are they using this for? Because if they're using this really just to burn through it, I don't believe that this company has long-term potential whatsoever, because you can only do that for a certain amount of time. Well, yesterday morning, we did get news that they actually announced the Capesize bulk carrier vessel acquisition. Now, it says here that the company is a global shipping company specializing in the ownership of dry bulk vessels. They announced that it had entered through a separate wholly owned subsidiary into an agreement to purchase a 2006 Japan-built Capesize dry bulk carrier from an unaffiliated third-party seller for a purchase price of $17.5 million. Now, this acquisition is expected to be consummated by taking delivery of the vessel sometime in the end of the first quarter or beginning of the second quarter of this year. After this completion of it is scheduled dry docking and special survey that also includes the installation of a ballast water treatment system and is subject to the satisfaction of summary customary closing conditions. Now, this is where it does get interesting, and I do like this a lot about this company. He says here that we are very pleased that we have been able to quickly utilize our recently raised capital by agreeing to the acquisition of our 7th vessel. We believe it is currently an opportune time to move larger dry bulk vessels, as we are of the view that these will also attract benefit in the current improving market. We are committed to further expanding our fleet by taking advantage of attractive opportunities presented to us in all vessel sizes and segments, allowing us to achieve our long-term goal of delivering long-term profitability to our shareholders. So this is what I mean whenever I say that my change of mind is happening. Because whenever I first did hear of this, offering, again, like I said earlier, I was like, what are they using this money for? Like, it feels like they're just burning through it. Yeah, they're growing their fleet, but realistically, their fleet's not doing anything, et cetera, et cetera. And I was really kind of being very doubtful. But then after seeing this and seeing how fast this man is moving, that offering was only finished a few days ago. And the fact that it was already finished, they got all of the fees paid, they got everything ready, then they used that capital to get their 7th fleet, and a big one, a very large Cape bulk size carrier. That tells me this man is on a mission. And then that's whenever I start to have this moment where I'm like, okay, I start to see the appeal a little bit, because I'm like, dang, like they just finished this deal and he's already going and getting this vessel that they believe will bring them long-term profits. And then that's what stems off of the thought from earlier as well. Like, sometimes if these companies are using these offerings to raise capital, then reinvesting that capital back into the company that will then provide them potentially more capital in the future, then it is okay to potentially dilute the shares, especially when it's just a penny stock. And so that's the train of thought that I've been having a little bit. I know a lot of you did agree with me saying like dilution is not the best and we don't really like dilution, because honestly I'm not a huge fan of it. But seeing something like this and thinking about the fact that, okay, a lot of these vessels are cheap right now, that's something to also consider. A lot of these vessels are cheap right now considering the industry has not been doing that well over the last 12 months. So they're doing this and they're taking the advantage of the moment they have to use these offerings to get the capital to buy these vessels for cheap and to buy them at a good, opportunistic, decent price, which will then provide them the returns over the long run that make this investment worth it. I must say that I'm a fan. I'm not going to lie. This is one of the only companies that I've ever had that I initially said I'm not buying anything or buying any shares in this company. And I've gotten to the point that I'm like, okay, I likely will. I will likely get into this company. Now, the stock price is something we will go over in a second here, so I won't go too in depth about it. The stock price has been interesting to watch. It has made some pretty good gains. But overall, I will say that this company is on a mission. I really do appreciate the hustle that the CEO has going for him. That is something that we do lack with some companies sometimes, is that the CEO and the management team, they're not working hard enough. They're not working fast enough to take the moment, to seize the opportunity that they have, especially with all this popularity that they have seen recently. So let's go ahead, let's jump into the stock price briefly. Let's take a look at what all it has been doing, and I may let you guys know whatever I'm going to be doing with this stock. So as we can see here, that Castor Maritime had a fantastic day today, going up 30% in market hours and then going down only 4% after market. We can see that they had a day of a gain of about 26%. Now, over the last 5 days, we have seen them gain roughly 16%, as they did take a little bit of a fall over the last, a few days leading up to today of about 11%. Now, the monthly chart is where it does get interesting, as we can see a very, very clear uptrend coming here. And then we can also see how strong of growth this company has been seeing, because it has had moments where it was struggling to really get some good momentum, but it does seem like it has finally caught its stride. It has seen some very, very strong growth. It seems like the interest in this company is growing, and as that has pushed this thing up, I honestly wouldn't be surprised to see it take a fall sometime soon. That is not me saying that it is going to fall in the next trading session, as if we do see here, it did have multiple very positive days growing up to 85%, and then only taking a dive of somewhere around 10%. So it has been able to maintain this growth. It's not growth that is just going to, it's going to go up all this way and it fall all the way back down, as we did see in these sessions here. I think that the momentum they have going behind them, especially with the acquisition of these vessels, and people are starting to see the long-term potential in this company, we may see that stock price start to get pushed up. So what does that mean for me? Well, I must admit that I will more than likely be starting a position into this company. If you are curious about my entry price, if you are curious about the cost basis that I'm going to be going in at, how many shares I'm going to be buying, when I'm going to be doing it, all of that will be available to everyone in my Patreon. So again, if you do want access to that information, head to the link in the description. It'll go over it'll bring you over to my Patreon, in which you could check it out and decide if you do want to also help support me while gaining some access to some pretty important information if you are, keen to wanting to figure out when the best time to invest in this company, according to me, would be. Now, again, I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I'm simply just a dude giving my opinion on companies, stocks, and just sitting here talking to a camera at the end of the day. But I hope you guys do have an amazing day. I will only have 2 uploads for today, as I do have a very busy weekend coming ahead, but we do have a big week next week, so I hope you guys stay tuned. With that, I hope y'all have a good one. Peace.